Hi, it's Ian from EssentialTennis.com. Welcome to video 2 in a series of 3 all about the split step, something that's incredibly important to your success on the tennis court. In the first video, we talked all about the technique of the split step, and I gave you the 3 most important technical elements of having a correct split step. I also gave you the whole purpose behind using a split step. And again, the purpose of using a split step is being as balanced and prepared to move to the ball as possible at precisely the right time. So in that first video, we talked about how to get physically as balanced as possible, as prepared as possible. And if you haven't seen that, by the way, please go watch it first. In this video, we're going to talk about the second part of that kind of little definition I gave you, the purpose of the split step, and that is being balanced at exactly the right time. And we're going to talk about the timing of the split step now. And I'm going to give you 2 different pro examples. We're going to take a look at David Ferrer first for 3 shots, and then we're going to go and take a look at Rafael Nadal. So let's take a look at David Ferrer first, and we're going to see that same footage that we took a look at in the first video in this series, where he's in a rally with Andy Murray. And we're going to take a look at exactly when he performs his split step. In the last video, in the first video, we talked all about technique. We're not going to rehash that here. We're simply going to look at when he performs his split step. So we see Murray here preparing for a backhand ground stroke, and David Ferrer is getting ready to make his split step. Now here he is starting to come off the court. Now watch as the ball hits Murray's strings. And you see that Ferrer is just leaving the court with his right foot. Both feet are going to leave the court. And now he's on his way back down as the ball is coming towards him. Now, previously in my teaching career, when I was a full-time on-court instructor, I always told recreational players that they should time their split step so that the balls of their feet should touch the court surface as the ball touched the racket of their partner or of their opponent. And they should try to time that touching down with the touching of the ball with the racket. When you watch the pros, you'll see very clearly, and this is repeated as far as I can tell 100% of the time, touchdown occurs after contact. So the pros are actually coming down from the split step after contact has been made. And the reason for that, if we go back to the video here, the reason for that, I believe, is that it takes a split second of time between when contact is made and when Ferrer is actually going to be able to tell exactly where the ball is going. So Ferrer is timing the touchdown of his feet precisely with when he can best identify where he needs to go for the next shot. When the ball is physically on Murray's strings, Ferrer doesn't know for sure where the ball is going yet. He might be able to see the timing of Murray's rotation forwards. He might be able to see even where the racket more or less is facing right around contact if he's paying close attention, which he is. But what if Murray hits off center a little bit? What if he shanks it a little bit? What if Ferrer just misreads it a little bit? It's important that you're in your most balanced position right when you can tell where the ball is going. You want to line those 2 events up so that right when you can see where the ball is going, that's when you're most prepared. And that would be when the balls of your feet are touching down in the court. You're in that wide stance with your knees bent, and now you're most activated to push off and bam, just immediately move towards that ball. So let's look at a couple more examples here from Ferrer, and you'll see him repeat that same timing. So here comes the next shot back to Murray. Now watch Ferrer go up into a split step right here. Here's contact from Murray. It's actually a little after contact. Ferrer is just about to leave the court, going wide, and here he touches here as the ball is several frames off of Murray's racket. And now he's ready to push off and move towards the ball. One more time from Ferrer. Again, Murray about to make contact. Here's contact right here. Ferrer timed it a little differently this time. He still hasn't touched down yet, but he's on his way down this time. Now he's touching down. The ball is off Murray's racket already coming towards him. So Ferrer at this point identifies where the ball is, and he's going to push to the side, get out of the way of that ball because it would have jammed him otherwise, and he was able to move out of the way. Now we're going to take a look at a couple examples of Nadal. And over on this side, he's hitting with his doubles partner, Lopez, who's getting ready to hit a forehand here, and here comes Nadal into his split step right here. Lopez has already hit. If I go back a couple of frames, here's contact right here. Nadal is just coming up into his split step. Now he's coming back down again as the ball comes off of Lopez's racket. Here's his touchdown. Now by this point, he identifies where the ball is going. He's able to move in that direction. We'll take a look at a couple more examples of Nadal here. So Nadal, you'll see him recover, take a couple little steps here. Lopez getting ready to hit. Here's contact right here. Nadal just coming up into his split step, now coming back down. Now he's touching down, and that's about 4 or 5 frames past the point of contact. Back to Nadal. One more time, and then I'll wrap this up with some final thoughts. So Lopez hitting here, here's contact. Here's Nadal's split step right here. Now he's touching down several frames after. And now he moves into position to hit his shot. So as you can see, the pros are consistent, and this is just 2 examples. I've got tons and tons of pro footage that I can go through, and I've seen this consistently across the board. They're touching down just a couple of frames after contact. And again, the reason for that is they're trying to line up the 2 events of being as prepared as possible, along with that point in time where they know, okay, I know for sure the ball is going here in this direction. And so they're timing those things together so that they're most prepared to move towards the ball, which is the whole point of the split step. So hopefully this makes sense to you. If you're a recreational player and you haven't started using the split step yet, I strongly recommend that you try to time contact with your opponent or with your partner with the touching down of your split step. In my experience, when recreational tennis players mistime their split step, it's almost always late. So I would prefer for you to aim for a little bit earlier than what the pros do. I mean, it's not always best to copy what the pros are doing. They're very, very precise with this. I would rather you be a little bit early with your preparation and be in balance a little bit early than be late and have already recognized where the ball is going, but you're still up in the air making your split step. So keep that in mind. However, you can take this information and do whatever you please with it, but my personal recommendation is that you try to time contact with the touching down of your feet. So there you go. That's video 2 of 3, all about timing. In the 3rd video, I'm going to show you some actual point play examples, and I'm going to show you some different elements that the pros use as far as lining their feet up and using the split step dynamically within an actual point situation. They do some pretty cool stuff during competition. So until then, please leave any thoughts or comments right below this video. I'd love to hear from you. Get out there, start using the split step, and let me know of any results that you have as well, if you get a chance to go out there and give it a shot. Thanks for watching. Talk to you again soon. Want to serve more like the pros? Find out how as I compare Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic during my free 5-video course. Get it now at freeservecourse.com. That's freeservecourse.com.